if they said David Vonderhaar was going to be helping out with the making of this, I think people would be like, okay, we're going to be in good hands. This guy knows, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think that Call of Duty would be a good movie if it was on zombies. I think that's such an interesting story, and there's a lot of intricacies to that. I would find that more interesting, and that would be more appealing to people too, if I had to assume. I don't know. I think that would be a different slant on what they could do with Call of Duty and actually represented that story. I think it would bang. That is such a fascinating story, like going back to World at War. I would find that more interesting than if they're just like, oh, it's Captain Price and soap and maybe gas. All right, we got to stop the missiles. All right, at the end of the movie, stop the missiles. And then what do? They'll go kill off Captain Price or they'll kill off soap. I wouldn't really care to see it.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 239 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. We'll start off with our weather talk as per usual, bro.
Yeah.
We're going into fall here soon, which I'm loving.
Slowly. Yeah.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I've been chilling. It's been like more or less so far a good start to the week. But I was gonna say, because I wanted to continue our conversation, what we were just having, because I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Right before we started recording, we were talking about these people who are like they're live streamers, but it's not live streaming. Like, what is it like what they call it, IRL streaming?
Yeah, they're IRL.
Yeah. Dude, when I see those people doing that all the time and being able to do it so confidently, like I can't remember where it was, but I saw it on Twitter when I saw Speed, and he was with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And then he's just walking the streets, and there's like, like he goes from that, and then there's like some who's in like a Lamborghini that pulls up to him, and he has to, I was gonna say, along with it, the fact that he has to match the energy of like everybody else that's in the audience, that he can't see or really know what they're feeling. That to me it's unbelievable. Like it's a skill that I think a lot of people who listen to this, that you probably can imagine, but a lot of average people are just like, oh, he's just some streamer. Like, what is he really doing? And I'm like, no, man, he's like beyond streaming. Like he's just a full on entertainer at this point.
Yeah, like those guys are just mainstream at this point. Like no streamers just hanging out with Tom Brady. Like he is like a celebrity at this point. And it's funny because like all celebrities are media trained to an extent, but they're not streamer trained. And meaning like when they show up, these guys are just walking around with the camera and like chat, and they're just on all the time. And celebrities, they're not used to the live like action, and some are better than others. But like Tom Brady, he's pretty good because he commentates live, so he has gotten better about like just being on camera. But I don't think the average person really understands what it's like just talking to a camera when no one else is around. Like even this, when you and I first started the podcast, it was so awkward for us. Like we're just looking at the camera and the camera's staring at us and there's no one there. It's just you and me talking.
Yeah, and you worry about making mistakes and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
like, oh, if you say the wrong thing or whatever. But I think even with those guys, like with Speed and like Kai as well, like other big guys as well, but they could transition that into anything, because at that point you have to be so trained with what you say, because they're so big, like controversy is always around them. Like people unfortunately want to see the downfall of those guys, and there's plenty of people that pray that he makes some mistake, but he doesn't, you know what I mean? He's always on it. He's always able like to be respectful. And when he has moments where he needs to be good, like, do you see that woman that was like a older woman, who was one of his viewers, and she's like, oh, I want to take some trip. I think it was like to Paris or something like that. And he's just like, I got you. I'll give you a couple $1,000. Like, it's no problem. He could have been like such a prick to her, or like not even done that, not giving her any money. And people would have been like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, she's an old woman on your, who views you all the time. You're not going to give her any money. Like, he knows, like, obviously he is generous too. I'm sure it's out of the goodness of his heart, but he also in the back of his head knows, I have to handle this a certain way, because if I don't handle this a certain way, everybody's going to lose their minds.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, again, they're media trained, but they have to be media trained when they're live, which that's a risk you run into. I mean, and the IRL streaming, like what Speed is doing, just going anywhere, right? Like people can take advantage of that like easily because they know that he has to like put on a face. Like I'm sure he's like a really generous guy, and I'm pretty sure he is.
Hmm.
And I do think specifically with like Speed and Kai, we made the right people like very famous. Um, there's some famous people that are like, why did we make them famous? But
Yeah.
questionable. But for those two guys, I genuinely believe that like the community did a good thing for making them famous. But like Speed was in New York, just streaming. New York, obviously, a place where there are a bunch of like artists that are trying to make it, whatever, and they'll just jump into his live stream and try to promote themselves. And you have to handle that a certain way because realistically, he is just giving like free promo to like hundreds, thousands of viewers.
Right.
And you're not really allowed to do that, and you have to handle it a certain way. Um, there's this one guy that I'm sure people know on TikTok if you're on that's trending right now. His name is called Relic Rhymes.
Okay.
His whole thing is like, I just got my hair done. He looks like his haircut is Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified. And like his whole thing, I just got my hair done. And he shakes his head like this and it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
goes back and forth. And he's been all over my TikTok. Like he's just been blowing up from that one song
Right.
and just going like this, bobbing his head. And
Yeah.
like he has a legit bob. And he ran into Speed in New York. And it was so funny. And he was like, yeah, I do this. I just got my hair done. And just started bobbing his head. And Speed's like, no, don't do that. Don't
Right.
do
Right. Right.
that.
Right.
And he was like, what this? Just getting free promo. And like I have no idea. That guy's just everywhere, Relic Rhymes. But anyways, like so they said bye to each other in the park or whatever, right? And then Speed went to go get the chopped cheese and he was in there. Camera turns around. That dude's behind him again. And he's like, I just got my
Yeah.
hair done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Speed's
Yeah.
like, you again? And he was like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was like a bit or not because I mean this guy's been like popping off. So I'm assuming Speed has heard of him. Um
Oh, no doubt.
so I don't know if he showed up like it was planned for them to meet up there later or whatnot, but it was really funny.
Well, and that's part of it too. When you're doing all those live streams, I mean, people can just open up their phone and they're like, "Oh my god, dude, he's here!" Like, I know
Yeah,
exactly where that is,
exactly. Yeah.
and they just crash his stream. Um, and yeah, I'm sure he deals with it because I don't watch those guys really at all. I just see it from the clips that I see on Instagram or on Twitter. Um, but that would be so nerve-wracking for me. It's because you have no idea. Like someone could go out, like honestly, and just say some insane stuff that would
And then you get banned. You
right,
lose your
right.
career. Yeah.
Yeah, not even being his fault.
Mhm.
But it's dangerous doing that.
Mhm.
Like you're subjecting yourself to society.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Well, that's
you're not
why,
like safe in your setup, just
yeah,
doing your thing.
it creates like a new like situation in terms of like legality, like not to get into it, but it's like, is it really his fault that someone said something crazy on stream, like in the background? Let's say like a customer was fighting with someone while he was buying food,
Right.
and the mic picked that up. It like said
Yeah,
some
like
wild thing, like, and then that person's gonna get banned because they're violating, Twitch, whatever platform you're streaming on, like their regulations, right? And technically, right, like where you're going, but you can't predict, some random human is gonna say something crazy or do something
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and that yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine that Twitch maybe they have something that's kinda built into that, or like a way of handling it, but
Mm,
honestly, I don't think so because I don't think the
nah.
platform was ever meant to be doing what these guys are doing, you
Yeah.
know? I don't think they would have ever imagined that, like, you're gonna have a camera crew follow you around
Mhm.
outside, like, doing what? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It
Like,
was originally just like, okay, you're gonna be having the camera on and you're gonna be gaming or doing something along the lines where like they're gonna be not watching you just, go through everyday life,
mhm.
um, and subjecting yourself to it. You see all the time with like, Zuma or any of these guys that you'll see. If they call somebody or someone calls them, they're always just first like, yo, you're on stream, just to make sure that they don't say anything. But
You
when you're
have to.
out, yeah, exactly. But when you're out amongst the masses, like I said earlier, there's people who want to take them down. If you just said that stuff, that could be the end of them. But you would be so hated.
Oh,
Like
yeah. You would
I
be plastered all over the internet.
It'd be like the Karen from the baseball game that
Yeah.
took that
Yeah.
kid's ball, like, fatal decision.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you don't do that stuff.
the internet will find you no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
what. And I mean, that's why those guys, I mean, the big ones, like they have bodyguards and like whatever, all that stuff in case like something physical happens too. But
Mhm.
also on top of that, those guys have all been banned multiple times on Twitch because of some incident like that. And then, you know, which I think to an extent it's fair. There are times where I'm like, this just makes no sense. Like they couldn't control it, but um, they all have a contact over there at Twitch. Like they're so big that they probably have their own agent or something that,
I'm sure.
hey, like I'm banned. Can you unban me? Or if I am banned, can you limit the amount of days that I'm banned? But for the regular person that's trying to get into it, now that's where I think it's a problem. Like there are kids nowadays that are trying to be IRL streamers, which fine, there's nothing wrong with that, I think. But they're doing like heinous stuff in public. That's when it becomes a problem.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like Speed and Kai, like they're just going around like doing everyday stuff, like what their life is, which is insane. Like they have meetings, they're going to meet really cool people. They're not going and bothering random people like, on the streets, like going about their day. There are kids that will like try to pull random pranks, like
Who are you thinking of?
what do you like on stream?
I'm thinking of that guy, Jack Doherty.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah. I forgot about that guy. But yeah,
bro.
yeah, that guy. Yeah. But he's been like um I don't think he's been canceled multiple times, but like, yeah, a guy like that, like you shouldn't go around and fuck around with people's days when everyone's just doing something.
Right.
That's when it
Right.
becomes an issue. And there are kids now that definitely they want to get into streaming and they see that, oh, this is like it's a trend, right? Conflict gives you a lot of views. So let's go do that. You're gonna catch the wrong person and it's already I'm sure it's happened, but it's not publicized like all over the news. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's happened. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
there's
I
a
mean,
lot of bad people.
again, that's what's so dangerous about it is because when you're out and, streaming just IRL, you have no idea who you're gonna be coming up against.
Mhm.
And, most people, again, they're just going about their lives, like you said, they don't wanna be bothered. When you start messing with them and you then on top of that stick a camera in front of their
Mhm.
face, like, yeah, they're gonna snap. And then they've got, some of those guys like Jack Doherty, like he would have his bodyguards there to protect him and everything. And you could just see that half the people that are like getting affected by this, they're just like, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
why? Like who are you? You literally just go around and like he would get in people's faces, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, if you're doing that in the real world, yeah, there's gonna be conflict here, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but he would just bring it on himself. I think a lot of people who do that, they see guys like Kai and Speed, and those guys are charismatic and they've got a good personality and they're
Mhm.
funny. Um, and they've also been in the game for so long. Like they've just been doing it so consistently for years and years, and they keep leveling up. These people want to get to that really quick. So the only way they can think about it, instead of actually building a personality that's worth watching, they just are like, let's create havoc, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Let's go and do these
Let's get
pranks that
conflict.
like bother people. Like, bro, Roman Atwood was like here, and then everybody saw
Yeah.
what he did, and they're like, "Oh, let's go and elevate." It's like, man, you don't need to. Roman's a good guy, and he's
Yeah.
funny, and he plays like good pranks. That's it. He's
Mhm.
not ruining people's lives or days, like
Yeah.
by doing any of
Well,
this stuff.
And the other thing with that, like, he did it all on YouTube. So, like,
Right.
this is all post. So he can
Yeah.
do this, and then afterwards he can go back and apologize and say,
Right. Right.
"We did this a prank," whatever, right? Like,
Mm.
but live pranks, just even if they're harmless, I don't know. Like, I've seen just random clips of, someone's eating outside, eating their fries, and I've seen clips of kids going up and just like grabbing fries and eating them and then walking
Yeah.
away. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's harmless, but I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, why are you doing that? What's the point?
Right.
I don't
Bro,
understand the purpose.
I would snap.
I would too. I'm
I'd
like, my
I'd be like,
fries.
"Dude," yeah, I'd be like, "Dude, you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like, and most normal people would, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, you have to, if you're gonna get into the IRL streaming, like, I don't wanna say it's gonna be, like, it's a trend or something like that. I
Mhm,
think it's a path forward for like, these people that will come and guys that we don't even know yet, who are going to reach those heights where they will go beyond just, streaming games or, like,
mhm,
whatever, and they're gonna be doing that. Um, but I don't know. I'd hate to say that there's gonna be some incident that happens that's gonna change things, you
mhm.
know? Because when you really think about it, what they're doing is mental, you know? They're
Yeah.
trying to, like, entertain and do the craziest things within their day to be like, "Oh, people wanna see stuff that they're never gonna be able to see,"
Mhm,
or, like, they wouldn't be able to do because of the opportunity or money or whatever.
mhm,
Um, like, again, seeing Tom Brady or having, like, the Jonas Brothers on, all these people that we know,
mhm,
like know of from when we were kids. Like, yeah, they want everybody to feel that too. But man, in order to pull all of that off and then be around them and around their people, like that's hard.
mhm.
Most people doing that, they would screw that, or they wouldn't even get there because they'd screw it up. They wouldn't be able to have the I want to say like resume, but just the consistency of having like other situations that they've done it where it's
Mhm.
been a success. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why those guys are there. They're there for a
Yeah.
reason. They built up from both of them were gamers.
Which is
Mm,
crazy to think of.
like, that's what Twitch was, playing video games, and then they evolved into IRL streaming. And again, they're not I'm Speed and I have had their controversies, like, every now and then, but, they're not perfect. But, like, yeah, they've transcended IRL streaming in terms of, like, the guests that they have, like Kai's
Oh, yeah.
Mafiathon, like, they just have insane people on, and which that's cool because, like you said, they have the opportunity that most of us will never have, ever, and kids see that, they're like, "I wanna do that." That's really cool, but there's a way to go about it in a respectful way, like what they did. They didn't go and fuck around with other people, like, they're gaming and they're entertaining, and I think streaming, it's good like, it already is mainstream, but it's gonna be like, people that do IRL stream, this is like building your resume to become, like, an actor or, like, a short film star or something like that to show, your personality. But if you're just going around, like, you're going around your everyday life just messing with people, that's not adding your resume to anything.
Right. Well, that's where I see a lot of these guys going to, and I'm pretty sure there's been talks or rumors that like those two in particular we're talking about, we're gonna make their way into some Hollywood movies,
Mhm.
um, which would not surprise me because again, their personality is everything, and the way that they're able to handle themselves, um, they could easily turn that into an acting career, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
and
I
that comes
think
with
that,
repetition.
yeah, yeah. I think that a lot of these top streamers like that, they could easily just be movie actors instead. If they totally gave up Twitch and did that, I think they'd be fine. Because that's really what it is at the end of the day. You're just acting.
Mhm.
Like you see those clips, and they like trip me out because you always see the clips of like Speed's cameraman or whoever who's filming, but when you see some random person who sees him and he's like, "Holy shit!" Like, dude, that's Speed, and they're
Mhm.
filming him, and you see everyone that's around him and how he is. He'll be like in a restaurant, and he gives zero fucks. He's
Yeah.
just like, "Chat, let's go, guys! Come on, let's go. We got it." I'm like, he's just doing the whole thing,
Mhm.
and people around him are like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like. How are you doing? He's not like, "Yo, guys," like, he's not, like,
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah.
You can't do that, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
and that's why they're mainstream now. They've just transcended. While like, you get your, the gaming streamers that you and I know, Tim, Nick Merckx, Nade, all these
Mhm.
guys, like they're they're huge, but they're not mainstream like
Right.
celebrity, like A-list celebrities. Whereas I think Kai and Speed have like hit that point. Um, you know, the guys that I just named off are celebrities in our realm, in the big gaming realm.
There's levels to the game.
Yeah, there's insane levels to the game. But
Well, I just saw with Nate too, he's like he got sponsored by some huge, like, gambling thing
yeah,
too, and he's been doing that. It's crazy, but
yeah,
yeah, again, there's like, when I saw that, I'm like, I didn't even know what it was because 'cause I'm not really into that, but yeah, those guys, like, the level of popularity and notoriety that they have is one thing, but again, those guys, they're in the Hollywood realm, like,
mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who have nothing to do with gaming who know who those guys are just because their face is everywhere all the time.
Yeah, and that's also too like the type of content that you make, right? Like the fact that these guys are gamers limits you to like to
Yeah.
whatever the population of gamers is. Um, Speed and Kai just IRL. Any person that's alive, that's your audience. So everyone. Uh, but I would say like if you really like gaming, where Tim is, Nick Merckx is, Nade, like Scum, all these guys, they're at the perfect level of like success or whatever you define success as. Like these guys they can go out, they'll probably get recognized, but they're not gonna have like a mob running after them, like just in public. Um, like what Kai did in New York, I'm sure
Oh
people
my
remember.
god.
Like, yeah, I'm giving away 5 PCs, and then like the NYPD had to come out and just like arrest him and like everyone. Like, first off, stupid. Two,
Right.
I don't understand how his like management didn't even think about this beforehand. Immediately, I would be like,
Red flags.
you're too big
Right.
to do this. Where not giving Kai like a pass or anything, but maybe in his head, right? Like he's like, I'm just giving away PCs. He doesn't think like he is that big. You know what I mean? Like he's just talking to, he doesn't really recognize it. But if you're his management, someone there has to be able to recognize that this is not a good idea.
Oh, yeah. I I think you said it best about he probably didn't realize how popular he is,
Yeah.
and, like, the fact that I'd imagine he probably thought there'd maybe be a couple 100 people that are gonna show
Yeah.
up, in person or something like that, but it was the exact
Yeah.
opposite, it was a
It
straight
was
up
a
mob.
parade.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people, like, exactly were there, but it was ridiculous. Um, yeah, for sure he didn't realize how many people it was gonna be, and I'm sure there's others who were, outside of the city, and like, "Dude, it's only a 2-hour drive, bro, he's gonna be giving away, like,
Yeah.
$1,000 PC, like, thousands of dollars, like,
Mhm.
oh, man, I'll make the drive, like, whatever," and I get to be on his stream, like, it'd be sick.
Mhm.
Um yeah, that was wild that nobody said anything about that. But
Yeah.
he learned his lesson. Now
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, oh, that has to be some mega organized event if
Mhm.
you're gonna do that. It's like, hey, he's gonna be live streaming this day at this place,
Mhm.
and if you want to be here, like you have to buy tickets or you have to do
Mhm.
some sort of way to, or notifying police, whatever.
Yeah.
Because again, yeah, they're just those guys have transcended, um, like, just the gaming sphere, which I do not envy those
Mhm.
guys. I respect them beyond belief, like, they're legends, but I wouldn't ever wanna do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Even if I could, I couldn't do it, but if I had the ability to do that, hell no.
Yeah, like, cause their level of fame is just again, it's mainstream. Their face is just everywhere, and yeah, like, I wouldn't put the entire blame on Kai for that, but, like, his management, like, someone has to, like, take the fall for that, or his entire team, because that's just a big mistake. Because again, like, he at the time, he's probably, like, live streaming to a couple, like, thousands of viewers. You gotta think, okay, 100 people. that's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
Kai
Yeah.
has thousands and thousands of people watching him live. So how many people do you think are actually gonna come? Like, it's gonna be a couple hundred. If it's a couple hundred, that's a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
how do you not realize that? And then, um, that's why I think the popular gamers like we know, that's like the limit. Like, they're good. Like, they are very famous, but in terms of the everyday person, like they don't know who Scump is. They don't know who like Nate is or like Nick or Tim, you know. Like they know of them, maybe, but they can just go to the grocery store.
That
They can
that's
they can
exactly what I was gonna
yeah.
say, yeah.
They can go to New York and I'm sure they'll get recognized just because of the amount of people that live there, but they're not gonna get swarmed, I will say.
Yeah,
Maybe in
there's,
Texas, but it's
right.
all Call of Duty fans.
Yeah. I remember seeing it with, rest in peace to the channel, but the Backyard Boys, that YouTube channel with the guy who did it,
Mhm.
that was the whole reason he canceled his channel or stopped uploading because he was like, it's way too much. Like it's way more than I thought it was going to be regarding his fan base. Like I want to see how many viewers or how many subscribers he has. I think it's yeah,
It was
dude,
like over 10.
16 million subs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he would just talk about how he can't do anything. He's like, "Oh, if I go here, or people just mob me, like people are mobbing my wife and my
Mhm.
kids, like I'm getting these emails all the time." Um, it's like you just you can't live like that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Eh
especially for some of these guys like who are really just normal people. I mean,
Mhm.
all of us are
Yeah, yeah.
obviously normal people, but you go into just making YouTube videos being like, oh, I like to go out into the wilderness and camp and show people this stuff. Like, I'm not trying to, communicate with some live audience. Like I'm not,
Mhm.
hosting, big events or whatever. I'm just doing one thing, just YouTube. Jev is the perfect example of that. Like I think that guy hit the perfect level of success where he's got, plenty of money coming in. He's got his audience that's always watching him and he's like content with where he is.
Mhm.
Like I don't think Jev has any desire to be any bigger than he is now. He's like, I just want to keep doing what I can to maintain where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, he's a definition of, like, someone who is a normal guy, but just decided to record himself, and it worked
Right.
out. And I'm
Yeah.
sure if you asked him, he would say the exact same thing. Like, he hit it perfectly, the perfect timing to where he is now. Because even, I'll use Roman, for example, because he was off YouTube for, I wanna say a couple of years. Because like he was like really big. He still is big. But he had to get off YouTube because he had to get the FBI and stuff involved because someone was stalking his family for years. And he always had police like on site at his house. There were like the hacker was or the stalker was like hacking into their house and their phones and shit. Like his kids, they're all homeschooled. Like they don't go to public school anymore because
Mhm.
you know, you can't
Us.
they're not
Too
willing to
dangerous.
risk, yeah, anything.
Mhm.
Um, and that's a risk that you run putting your kids on camera and then you become really famous. But like again, like you don't it's not like he knew that was gonna happen. I'm sure his kids are loving life. They're all like normal kids. But
Yeah.
yeah, like he was big and the fact that there are just creeps out there that will like they'll try to ruin you
Oh,
for
yeah.
whatever reason, some random stranger. But yeah, I remember that, and like I remember him posting that video and like watching it when it came out, and he's like, "We're gonna be gone, but we don't know how long," and it was years,
Yeah.
and it was just him living his life, and you know, he said that this stalker like somehow got access to the Wi-Fi network in his house and just started turning off and on like all the lights in the house, like hacked
Yeah.
his phones, like they would just get random text messages like from this person. And I'm like, dude, that's that's insane when you're just trying to live a normal life.
Especially when you have a family too.
Oh yeah, that changes
Um,
everything. That's
oh,
probably
yeah.
so scary.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like you didn't even mean for them to really get involved in this. This was like your thing,
Hmm.
you know, and they agreed with it and are cool with it, but now they're getting impacted by this negatively, you
Hmm.
know. Um, and I think for the guys like, you know, that are doing live streaming now or doing the IRL streaming, they're so young. Like they don't I think like most of the main guys, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they have any like an immediate family like that. You know, they have like brothers and sisters
Hmm.
and parents, of course, but like their own family, I don't think so. And that for sure changes the game.
Hmm.
Um, like when I think those guys, when that happens, if that happens for them, I think that's when they're gonna maybe try to make the shift towards like acting or something,
Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
where they're
That's
not
what I'm saying.
subjecting themselves to the masses like 24/7 where
Hmm.
things could go wrong. Um, I think inevitably that's where it's gonna go. When we think too, if when we're gonna be like in our 30s and 40s, and can you imagine if like Kai is a full-time like Hollywood actor, that'll
Yeah.
be insane.
Oh
People be like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, dude, he's a good actor," but like, "Bro, he was a gamer."
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah.
I'm like, now he's at the IMAX, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That shift of them, like, yeah, if they have their own family, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Because the closest thing to reality that these guys can go to now, like having a family, is being like a celebrity.
yeah,
Like, they're all these celebrities for the most part, like, a lot of them have families, they have kids, and, they keep their kids away from, like, all of it,
yeah,
That's, like, the only option they have to shift towards.
yeah,
Like, they
yeah,
can't be like, "I'm out." And just disappear. The only way actually, no, the only way they could do that is if they buy, like, a bunch of land in the middle of, like, nowhere, like in Montana or
yeah,
something, and they live off of the land there.
right, right.
That's, other than that, like, you're not disappearing.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like people always try to dig stuff up about you.
Mhm,
Like there was a time where I was watching like queso clips
mhm.
and people didn't know where he was from. Like he like his background, like I think he still has it like in his house or whatever. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
nothing, he doesn't give anything away. But he was watching this video, it's like a documentary on him, and they talk about where he's from. He's like, "How did you know?" Like
Yeah.
he couldn't believe like and he was like horrified that these people had found that out, you
Mhm,
know? Like in some things, like he played baseball or like something arbitrary like that. He's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I've never once said to anybody here, like in front of a camera, that I ever did that, you
mhm,
know?" But again, it's like people are so like some stuff it's funny, but some of it it's just it's creepy. You know, people will
yeah,
go deep to find anything about you and know where you are,
mhm. 'Cause
you
I
know?
mean, realistically, like, all of us could do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like all of our record we went to public school, like, all of our records are just out there. Quick Google search and just, like, looking for stuff, we can find anyone.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it's
It's not
just
hard.
it's just who are the crazy people that are gonna take it to the next level and try to find you because they're, like, in love with you, or
Right, right.
they're like, "Oh, I just wanna know more about you and, like, what you do every day." Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nah, no, that's that's
Yeah,
just
like
weird.
yeah, if they actually do stuff with that information, that's the worst part, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, all the guys like Tim, I don't think Tim really shows
Yeah.
his kid on there much at all.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's ever shown his kid. I
He's
think
shown us a little bit, but not
yeah,
like
very
yeah.
rarely,
Kid will
you know?
pop on the stream, that's really it.
Right, right. I know Nade's a little bit more open with it, but I mean,
Mhm,
just in general, all those guys too. Like, yeah, you have to kind of keep them like. Of course, they know what you're doing, you know,
mhm,
because they're making insane money.
mhm.
Um, but you have to kind of distance them from a
Bro,
little bit, you know,
yeah,
because again, there are those people who would be like, "Oh, I want to try to see like where his kid goes to school or something." It's
mhm,
like, bro, you're out of your mind.
yeah.
Like,
There
why?
are pros and cons because, like, again, going back to Roman, like, he's, like, the perfect example of, like, what the benefits of it and then the cons of it. Like,
Yeah.
Nate would always joke around, he's like, "Dude, a family channel, like, that's gonna bang." And it would. I would watch his, like, family vlogs,
Hmm.
and, you can see the side of it of, like, what you and I see, it's like, "Oh, wow, like, he's got a family, he worked really hard for it,"
Yeah, it's
all this
dope to
stuff.
see.
It's cool to see, we grew up with him, and it's his kids, like, his daughter that's still, like, a baby or whatever. But then his daughter, like, I don't know, 10, 12, like 13 years later, like she's a teenager and she's still on video, that's when it becomes creepy because now you got like creeps like, oh, we can find your daughter here.
Yeah.
But I think everyone like looks at a baby for the most part and they're like, oh, that's relatively cute, whatever. But
Right.
then as soon as they start getting older and they have to go to school and stuff, that's when it's weird. Like, do you cut it off there? Do you show them or do you show them a tiny bit? You don't show them all the time. And then when they turn 18 or whatever, you agree with like, are you okay with like being on video or not? Because again, they didn't ask for that.
Right. It's a weird thing now to be born in. Like I've seen some of these like clips on Instagram of these like TikTok families and
Hmm.
whatnot, which is just an insane can of worms. Like I have no idea what's going on in there. I don't get how everybody could be cool with that,
Hmm.
but I would find, like, to what you're saying, that more often than not, things like that, I just can't imagine them ending in a great way, you
Hmm.
know? I would imagine there would be some sort of Roman situation, because again, you can't you always want to assume that people have the best interest in mind and all that, and that's just,
No.
nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
you can't, and again, it's always there's always gonna be viewers out there or people who aren't even maybe viewers because they just don't like you, but they want to see chaos,
Hmm.
um, and yeah, when you bring your family in like that, I mean, I'm never gonna be in that situation. Like, with the content and everything regarding a family, I would totally be against that. I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, like people, if you want to watch me, you'll watch me. If you don't want to watch me and you want to watch my family, like, I'm sorry, it's not gonna
Yeah.
happen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you go watch somebody else who's doing it. You know?
Mm.
Yeah, you'd hate to feel the guilt, but yeah, again, I think these guys, if and when that happens for them, I would be surprised if they kept doing what they're doing, but yeah, I think they'll make their way into movies. They'll
Yeah.
be they'll be in like the Call of Duty movie, like COD 3, whatever movie they're at by then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I see Kai Cenat in dressed up as a soldier in Call of Duty and actually being serious, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. That's where we're gonna be at the movie being like, is this real life right now?
Yeah, yeah. You gotta put like The Rock or John Cena in there. Like that they're soldiers, you
Right,
know?
right. Dude, I was I don't wanna say pleasantly surprised because I don't know how stoked I am for this Call of Duty movie thing.
Yeah.
Um, it came out, like, I think it was maybe a week ago, if that, not even, that the news broke that this is something that is it Paramount is gonna be behind this?
Mhm.
Um, which I think they were behind the Halo TV series,
Yeah.
and we know
Or
what happened there.
yeah.
So,
I'm
I
gonna
don't know. I don't know, but
yeah.
I have my impression of what a Call of Duty
Mhm.
movie should be. I don't know
Oh,
if it's
I do
gonna live
too.
up. So what do you think about this whole thing altogether?
Well, like, first off, I think Call of Duty movie, it's just a war movie. Like, you're going up against, like, a lot of classic war movies that yeah, I know we have better, like, CGI and technology now, but, like, I don't think they're gonna be able to compete against, like, other war movies. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do with Call of Duty to make it, like, a cool movie. It's just soldiers. Like, yeah, you can follow the campaign. Obviously, that's probably what they're gonna do, but I don't know. I feel like there's been a trend lately of just trying to turn video games into movies or TV shows, and I'm not saying I'm completely against it. Like The Last of Us, for example, uh, I enjoyed that show. I know a lot of people hated season 2 completely because they changed a couple of things and people like take it to heart like they're fucking dying. That like, oh my god, you know, this is not Ellie. I'm like, dude, it's not. The video game isn't real either. I don't know what you're tripping out about. Like,
Yeah.
I and
I say the same shit, by the
yeah, you
way.
know what I mean?
When people critique that, I'm like, dude, both are
Yeah,
fake. Like,
like uh, I enjoyed The Last of Us, like season 1 and season 2. I think season 1 was a lot better than season 2, but
yeah, same.
I who cares? Like, just enjoy the type of like media it is. And I always say that video games and TV shows slash movies are very different like mediums. Um, there are things in TV shows and movies that you can do that aren't in video games. And you have to think about that more than in video games because video games are way more interactive. TV shows and movies aren't. You have to portray what is happening in the story a different way. And maybe it's just because you and I don't like to just shit on things right away and like take a step back to think about like why it's done this way. But most people don't look at that. Like they look at it and they're like, this is shit. Like the
Yeah.
Uncharted movie. I wouldn't say the Uncharted movie was spectacular or anything. Like it was
No.
amazing, but it was your classic like treasure, hunter movie, you know? Like
And again, what's it competing with? Like,
yeah.
we're talking some mega action movies and like classic legendary, like or you're gonna be talking about like
Indiana
Indiana
Jones, yeah.
Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like these movies are huge. I mean, I haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, I probably should at some point. I'm terrible with them, but like again, you think about this movie, who's really gonna go and watch this? Like the people who played Uncharted, like us,
Mhm,
you know? But does it really have any appeal beyond that? Like, I don't really think so. I would never watch that movie again,
mhm.
like, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, I have to go see
Yeah,
it,"
yeah.
you know? And
But
it's the same with the COD one,
mhm.
you know?
But
But again, you give it a fair shot, though.
what you just said right there, the like who else would go watch that? Uh Obviously the gamers that played that game will go and watch it. But I
Right.
think that's the whole like point. People that don't play video games, they're trying to attract those people to go watch the movie. And, a Uncharted movie, like people not knowing that this is about a guy that like hunts for treasure, like that seems like an appealing storyline to just the everyday person, you know. Let me just go watch this movie. And I'm sure most people watched it, they're like, either it was really good or it's like, it was all right. I think every person that's played Uncharted that I've seen is like, this movie sucks. I'm like, dude, the movie is not that bad. Like, it's an all right movie. They
Right.
got good actors in it. Like, yeah, they got stuff wrong, but it's because they tried mashing like all the games together. Um, and again, maybe I'm just not the biggest critic. Again, like I don't like critics either. I think I've talked to you about this. Like critics just piss me off. Um, and the Call of Duty movie, I don't know what to expect from it. I doesn't need to be a movie. No, I think it's fine being like a video game franchise. It's already struggling being a video game franchise. I don't think expanding it to like movies would make it better. So
Yeah, I don't know. When I see a lot of these games, because you are right, this is some trend now where they're trying to take, these gaming mediums and think that, oh, it can just translate to movies where and I've seen people talking about making like a Red Dead Redemption
yeah.
movie, which is the same thing. I'm like, no, like don't do it. Like for me too, these games like Uncharted, all those games are amazing,
Mhm.
and then you put the movie in there and it's not the same level. Like,
Yeah.
we could both agree on that. Like it's the worst of like if you're gonna be comparing all of those games and the movie, it's dead last.
Mhm.
And it wasn't necessary. No one was asking for it. And how much money did they really make off of that? Like, were they successful with it? I know there was supposed to be, if I remember, there was kind of a setup for a sequel after that.
For
Um,
Uncharted.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, I doubt we're gonna get that because
Yeah.
they finished it. They saw their like how much money they made and how much they were in the red still. They're like, yeah, screw that. Like,
Yeah.
not worth it at all. And I fear it's the same thing with COD. Again, you're going up against massive movies that
And
you
TV
know,
shows.
yeah, yeah, that just do that so well. And what are they really going to talk about? Like, what characters would they end up using? Like, they'd have to use either like Price and Soap, like all of
Yeah.
those guys, or they have to go the route of like Mason and like Woods and all those guys from the Black Ops series. But that's going to be so hard for people because you're going to see those characters and you're going to like, that's not him. Like it's that's with The Last of Us too. I doesn't really bother me because I thought those actors were still really good in there. But um obviously there's so many people who hated on the show because they're like, "Oh, Ellie doesn't really look like Ellie," you know, and like, "Oh, Joel, it doesn't quite look like him," and all these people they change the way they look. 'Cause and I can resonate with him to an extent where it's like, yeah, you have your idea of what the game is, and that's who these people are, you
Mhm.
know? So when you see something so different, you're immediately turned off. And I don't always agree with that, because there are like I think that guy was the guy is Pedro Pascal is his
Yeah.
name. Yeah, for Joel, he's great. Like, he does a really
Mhm.
good job of it. Um, but it's risky. Like, they could have gotten someone who sucked, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's the same with COD. Like, they can have these guys in there, but it could just be like, "Dude, are you kidding me? Like, this is who they put in here? Like, this isn't
Mhm.
remotely close." Because 'Cause we're talking about movie people. Like,
Mhm.
maybe they have COD people on there to consult, but, like, they're 2 totally different things.
Yeah, and, like, I think if they're gonna do it, you have to go the way that The Last of Us did it. Um, I know people, again, they didn't like season 2, but, uh, they got Neil Druckmann to, like, produce it.
Mhm.
He literally made the fucking game. Like,
Right,
I don't care what people think, he knows best. He made the game.
right.
And I'm sure if you go, like, watch interviews with him, like, talking about the movie, he's probably like, "It's a challenge. It's very different. Video games and movies aren't the same, or TV shows aren't the same thing. And you have to figure out a way to, tell the story visually through a TV show or a movie rather than being interactive in a game." And like you said, some people hate the, the actors and stuff because you have an idea already of what this person is. Like, Bella Ramsey was like huge controversy. Like, this is not Ellie. I'm like, she's a good actor. Like, she's been in a lot of good movies. And I'm like, doesn't matter to me. Like, I watched the season 1, like, she was great. She was fine. Second one, same thing. Yeah, they changed a couple of her lines and stuff too. I'm sure Neil Druckmann was part of those decisions.
Mhm.
um, but with Call of Duty though, who are you gonna get? Like, that's the one thing I'm like worried about. They're not gonna go the same route as that. They're not gonna have someone so close to the franchise to go and produce this.
Ah, no chance. No
They
chance.
like
Well,
they
COD's so weird too,
yeah,
you
it
know?
is. And like, there's so many good war movies, war shows. Like, they're not going to be better than like Band of Brothers, you know,
Or like
like
Saving Private Ryan.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these movies and shows. Their first thought was create the movie. It's not, oh, we have it already laid out in a video game. Let's just copy that and try to transform it into a movie. It doesn't work like that.
Right, right. Yeah, those games, like, what have they done? They've done Fallout, and they've done, well, they're gonna do the COD one. They did Last of Us. Same thing with Uncharted. Honestly, I was
They
surprised with
did.
Uncharted, but, I don't think they had maybe I could be wrong. I don't know if they really had anybody really consulting on that because I think I mean, well, Naughty Dog is the same people at
Yeah,
the head
yeah.
of The Last of Us, like, when that game was out.
Hmm.
Um but yeah,
Son.
they just have like usually they'll have one guy or like 1 or 2 guys that are like really the head of the studio. But when it comes to COD, I have no idea. Like, maybe it's just because I'm naive to it, but they don't have that beacon person that everybody can, resonate with. Like, oh, dude, he's the chosen one. This guy, like, he
Hmm.
knows all about. He's been there throughout all the CODs. He's led an amazing,
Vondahar.
story. Yeah, well, dude,
And
I'm saying, like,
yeah,
if they said David Vondahar was going to be helping out with the making of this, I think people would be like, okay, we're going to
yeah.
be in good hands. Like, this guy knows,
Mhm.
but I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, and to your point too, like, they have to choose a specific route that they go with this movie. Like, they can't you can't combine Modern Warfare characters with the Treyarch characters. You have to
Right.
choose one or the other. And if they
Mhm.
do somehow, they already fucked it up. Like, they can't do that.
Because everyone's gonna be like, "Bro, they didn't make the Black Ops characters," or, "Dude, they didn't do Captain Price." Like, you
Eh,
kidding me?
yeah. And Yeah, it's just really interesting. Like I feel like Call of Duty, if it had to be turned into like a different medium, it would be better as a TV show than a
Yeah,
movie. Because I feel like with a movie, you are cramming everything in too much, which is it is good for uh certain like video games. Like actually like Call of Duty, if it was a movie, I think it would have to be like a multi-part like movie, like 3 movies or
mhm,
something. Like Uncharted, I don't think should be a TV show. That should be
no,
multiple movies.
yeah,
Um Last of Us, I think that worked out well for it to be an actual TV show because there's so much build up
yeah.
into the ending. Um Assassin's Creed, they came out with a movie that
Oh,
flopped
oh,
horrendously.
yeah, did you watch that ever?
I've never finished it. I've watched like up to a certain
That
point and
says
just,
it.
but I do like I should finish it. But yeah, they didn't represent like Assassin's Creed well, you know?
Right,
Like they're like, why aren't you doing something about Ezio?
mhm.
You know, like and a character we all know.
Dude, I think that Call of Duty would be, I think it'd be a good movie if it was on zombies.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry.
I think that's such an interesting story, and there's a lot of intricacies to that and a lot
Mhm,
of nuance. Um, I would find that more interesting, and that would be more appealing to people too, if I had to assume, just because again, the whole idea of war movies, like everyone's really seen that, and it's been used forever. It's not like zombie movies haven't been used a lot either, but I don't know. I think that would be a different slant
mhm,
on what they could do with Call of Duty, and actually, if they represented that story, well, I think it would bang. That is such a fascinating story, like going back to World at War and
mhm,
how like all those characters play into now, and how it's changed. um, it would be hard to do though, it's not an easy story to really wrap your head around,
mhm.
especially with all like the time travel stuff. But I would find that more interesting than if they're just like, oh, it's Captain Price and soap and maybe gas. All right, we got to stop the missiles. Let's
Mhm.
go do that. All right, at the end of the movie, stop the missiles, and then what do? They'll go kill off Captain
Yeah.
Price, or they'll kill off soap. And it's like, miss me with that. Like, I wouldn't really care to see it.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I think a zombies movie would be so much better because
Yeah,
you're combining it's a different genre, like, you're combining horror and, like, a military movie.
right.
And
And
I
you got
think,
the
yeah,
humor.
yeah, the movie with all the zombies lore, because it is confusing for, like for people that play Call of Duty and for people that don't even know what zombies is. Um, I think a movie would be good if they were able to like piece it all together in a way that everyone can like digest and understand, and then um have it be like I don't know, 2 movies, 3 movies, whatever.
Right. I mean, dude, we got to give something to the zombies community. I mean, they they they
Do
need something to be
they
proud of.
want
It's
it
so
though?
well, yeah, that's the thing. If you gave
I
it to them, they'd be like, "Oh
Yeah,
man, they're gonna just they're digging this hole even deeper for
yeah.
us."
I would argue that I think zombies like that would be a good book,
It would
like
be.
like the lore and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it could go a lot of ways. I just feel like um, it would probably be less likely that there would be it would be a complete flop.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah.
know, I feel like it would be kind of okay, um, to great. Where the COD movie, um, and I heard too, Steven Spielberg was gonna do it, and then Activision was like, "No," because they said that he wanted, like, full control, which they
Mhm,
were not gonna give him, which I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because the guy's made good movies,
mhm,
but from Activision side, I can't believe I'm actually gonna take their side on this for a second, is I don't know if that means they're like, "Hey, if we offer people to help out and give directive,"
mhm.
he would be like, "No, like, I don't
Well,
want those
that
people, this is my movie." I'd be like, "Bro, you ever play COD 4?"
yeah, that's our hope, right?
Right.
Or it's like you don't get full control, you don't get all the proceeds. We
Yeah.
profit too.
Well,
That
see,
that's a
that's what I think it is. I think
yeah.
they're like, "Wait, if we get full control, we don't get any of that sweet money? Oh, forget
Yeah.
it." Like, it's not gonna
Our
happen.
lawyers will be talking.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, and I saw too earlier today that they were saying that the zombie reveal, like, just talking about that in general, like, I think it's getting delayed. Like, I don't know what state um Zombies is in right now. They're just saying that like news is coming soon, and
Mhm.
they're just kind of, I think pushing it off to the side, which with the game right now with Black Ops 7, like, we've been hyped about it from like the little bit that we've seen. And little stuff has come out about it, but regarding the zombie side, which, for Treyarch games, everyone's always looking forward to, the fact that there hasn't really been anything on it at all um, is a bit concerning.
Yeah, well, they did say though that they are going back to classic like round based zombies. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that they're just keeping everything in the dark, and then they're just like, here you go. I think we're uh, a lot of us like look so deep into the like early like leaks and all things like that because then we look at it and we judge it right away, not knowing if it's actually going to be good or not. Um, but Treyarch, they have a good track record with zombies. So if they did do that, they just pull a Rockstar and not they keep everything hush hush for so
Right.
long, and they just release it. I'm sure it'll be good.
I hope because I love zombies, but man, I still hope that they one day, and maybe it's with this game, they just get rid of the custom class thing in
Yeah.
zombies. Like, I don't know how other people feel about that, but that's like one of the biggest downgrades, in my opinion, with zombies. I just never understood why they did that, where you could just load in and you have like an RPD already. Like, you can
Hmm.
have an LMG or an AR with like, fully kitted out right off the bat. I just thought that totally killed the vibe of zombies to me, Like, I went and played, I was playing Black Ops 1 because I have all the maps on there, which is, insane that I spent that money back then. But having them all and playing any of those maps, like playing Ascension, oh, dude, it's horrifying. Like,
Hmm.
playing solo zombies still is like, maybe I'm a total bitch, but it's still hard to do, you know? And the fact that you just have a pistol, like you don't have anything else, and you have to figure out the map and kind of, make the move of, all right, when do I go and buy the door to go and get another gun or etc. That kind of added to the whole allure of zombies, that it was just getting harder all the time. But now when you play it, it's like, yeah, you're starting off right off the bat with like some of the best stuff that you could get. Like, granted, yeah, you go pack a punch and get the perks and
Hmm.
whatnot, but um, I hope they just, when you say they go back to classic zombies, I hope they go back to like really classic like that.
Yeah, with just regular pistols, like off the rip.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and I think too, zombies. It needs to be scarier. Like you said, it used to be scary,
yeah.
but now we load in with whatever weapon we want, and then we spawn in into like a beautiful town that's you know zombies everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's bright and colorful, which I like. I don't mind, but there was something about World at War, Black Ops 1. Everything's it's just darker and it's
But
it's more eerie.
like, what was the map that we played in? It's like the first one in Black Ops 6. Um, what's the name of it? I want to see if the map was. It was like you're in that town, you know?
Um, is it town?
It could be. Let's see if I can pull it up here, because they had some of them. Actually, is this it? I don't know if it is. Yeah, Liberty Falls.
Yeah, Liberty Falls. Yeah,
Yeah, that
town's
doesn't do
close enough.
anything for me. Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm done with that stuff. But when they had like it wasn't in this game. They had that Citadel de Morts. I think that was in one of the older titles that they
Mhm.
had. I
Yeah.
believe. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I want those old scary maps. Like, even to load up on Ascension,
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
starts off black and white. I'm
Mhm.
like, "Hell yeah,"
Yeah.
Just little things like that. Yeah, it was way creepier back then. And again, you had to actually think, because you gotta make that move of when you're gonna go and, hop off the pistol. Like, how much can you actually keep knifing people,
Mhm.
you know? Now, I don't know. I just, it doesn't hit the same because it's
Oh
not as
yeah.
intense.
Yeah, and actually work your way up because I feel like you start off with a pistol and you can buy a weapon off the wall, right? And that weapon will actually be an upgrade from your pistol. And
Yeah.
then, you can go and pack a punch. You have a reason to go hit the box. I feel like now, yeah, like the round scale with your weapon. So you do have a really good weapon in the beginning, but it becomes worse and worse like every round. So yeah, you do have to hit the box, but honestly, like why would you hit the box if you have your gun like kitted out and then you just keep pack a punching over and over?
Yeah, it's like other than I guess looking for a wonder weapon,
Yeah, yeah.
like that's really it. Like for your secondary, you just
Mhm.
go and get that. But yeah, it's different than when we were on the Kino grind back in
Yeah.
the day. Like, dude, there was something about those maps. I don't know if it was just the time that we were in, but like that game with those maps, that was just pure bliss. You could
Mhm.
still go and play Kino today, and I guarantee you it would be phenomenal.
Mhm.
Like those games and those maps just always hit. And I don't know if it's because like the same problem that multiplayer has where the map design just isn't there, or it's because of the other changes that we mentioned before where zombies just it seems to have lost its allure. And certainly the fan base, like the main fan base of zombies, they've been, beyond critical of it. And I don't blame them.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think Warzone, the bigger maps has played into that too. Like I think zombies would work on like a bigger sized map if they do it right. Uh but obviously like hasn't really been like that. Like could you
Oh,
imagine like a horror movie like on a big map?
yeah, well, remember they had that in was it which black it might have been Black Ops 1, I think. I forget where they had that Call of the Dead map.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That kind of had like some movie elements to it,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Mhm.
But then when I'm talking about the open world, which was that one of the Modern Warfares that we played where zombies was it had the zones?
Was that Vanguard?
Dude, that feels so long ago.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know why. Like, I just
I think it
remembered
was Vanguard. Vanguard
it.
zombies?
Yeah, that or maybe MW2.
It could be.
It could have been. It was
But
one
yeah,
of the,
we
I feel
spawned
like
in, we were like, what is this?
I want to say it was MW2. People
Mhm.
listen are pulling their fucking hair out. Like, there was this cut.
Yeah, yeah,
But it feels so long. But dude, that sucked.
yeah,
I'm like that they took a chance, and I'm like, you really shouldn't have.
yeah.
Like, you did
You
not
know?
need to.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, they took the chance, never go back, don't repeat it. You learn from your mistake, but zombies should always be round based. But I think too, if I think I said it, like, when that came out, like, leave zombies to Treyarch. Maybe Treyarch really was like, "You guys can have zombies, the idea of it, but you cannot do round based." And if that's a move, baller move, I just rather them not even do zombies at all then. So Treyarch can just do it.
So many people have tried over the years to innovate on that, and I don't really get why.
Mhm.
Like, I maybe I'm like a simpleton with it, but I've always liked how it was so simple, like all in the early Call of Duties, it was just like, again, round based, yeah, new maps, new guns, I like the new perks, throwing in some things like that. I remember like with what was it? I think it was in World at War with Verrucht
Mhm.
when you could go and activate the electric, like I say fencing, but like there would be like a pathway in the door, and you could turn on the switch and electrify everybody, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" Like crazy innovation. I'm like, just do little things like that. You don't need to completely reinvent the wheel here, as
Mhm.
long as like multiplayer, as long as you just put out good maps, like that's all we really care about. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't need no fancy nonsense that's like never been done before. I'm like, bro, just
Good.
give me the basics
Mhm.
done really well. And if you
Good.
do that, then it's good.
Good maps and the just improve on the storyline within those maps. Because
Right.
like the best part about Black Ops One, like Kino, was like going for the Easter egg or like going for the song. Like trying to get the song to play, and then after that, you pack a punch and everything. There is no like end to it. Like you just keep going and going until you die or just burnt out. But
Right.
now that Zombies has like they've been developing their uh storyline, they should do that. Like good maps, really cool Easter eggs, and make it scarier.
And if they had that with a zombies movie that was good too, I think
Mhm,
that then people might be interested in zombies a little bit too. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but I'm like,
mhm.
if you have a good story and you do it well, there might be some intrigue about it. I would be very curious to know when they put this Call of Duty movie out, closing on that, to see how many people who never played COD watch the movie and are like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the game."
Yeah, yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
ain't nobody doing that.
There's no way
Like,
they're gonna go see this Call of Duty movie. They're gonna see, fucking Kai Cenat, John Cena, and The Rock all at war in Speed in soldiers, and they're like, oh yeah, let's say it is like a really good like war movie, right? They go over to Black Ops 7. What the fuck is this robot futuristic like shit? This is
yeah,
not
right.
Call of Duty. And then
Yeah,
they don't play it.
yeah. They would have to, I think the only I say the only way the movie succeeds, because what do I know? But I think it would be cool if they went and did, like, just a traditional war movie,
Mhm.
in the style like, in the older CODs. Um, I think that would be cool,
Yeah.
because again, taps into that nostalgia, and
Mhm.
everybody's loving that right now.
Yeah.
It would be hard for me to see with the directive that they've taken recently in the campaigns over the years that they're gonna all of a sudden, make a true masterpiece with this movie.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
I find that I'm a bit skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, they're totally gonna go the route of, like, an older game, and if they do it,
Yeah,
I would suggest for some reason, Spielberg, you're listening somehow, or Activision,
big
go
fan.
the Trey go the Treyarch route. I wanna know more about I feel like Mason and the numbers would make, like, a really good movie. And
Phenomenal,
then
phenomenal.
but you need to go into the movie understanding that this is a movie, not the video game. Because or like trying to get people to go play the video game. Because I guarantee you, when people will watch the movie and they will not go and play Black Ops 7 after, because it's not the same thing. You need to
Yeah,
go into this
absolutely.
intention that this is completely separate from the series.
Yeah, which is hard to do, but it's what you have to do,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. 'Cause,
So
yeah,
we'll see.
Black Ops. We're gonna enjoy Black Ops 7, and if the movie comes out, I guarantee you more people will watch the movie that don't play Call of Duty, and like you said, 0 people are gonna come and play Black Ops 7 after them.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, I just don't see that really, I don't know,
They're
I
not
don't
the
really see
same
it
thing.
happening. Yeah, I'll add this is I with the F1 movie that came out, have you seen this?
I
Or
haven't
have you
seen the
watched the
movie,
movie, I
but
mean?
no, I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, so I was, like, immediately skeptical about it, being like, "Ah, I don't really know, like, whatever," but I could see how they've done F1 movies in the past that, are really good.
Mhm.
Um, but I was like, we'll see," Brad Pitt was in it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"We're going full Hollywood here." And I asked my dad, or he told me, he's like, "Do you watch the F1 movie?" I said, "No, I hadn't. What'd you think about it?" I was waiting for him to cook it. He's like, "It's phenomenal. It's so good." You know? And his girlfriend was like, after she saw it, she's like, "I wish I saw this before meeting you because I would know why you like racing so much." And to me,
Mhm.
I was like, "Damn, like that's
Mhm.
impressive that that movie was able to do that." So maybe in the F1 realm, there may be people who watch the movie and then go to watch F1. But
Mhm.
even still, like her, she'd say that
Mhm.
she ain't watching F1. No
Yeah.
chance.
Well,
But I think there's people who gain an appreciation. But the other way around, like my dad, he watches F1, so he's
mhm.
gonna watch the movie. Like us, we're COD people. We'll watch the movie, but
Yeah.
I don't think it works the other way around.
Yeah. And, like, that's what I heard too. I heard the movie was actually really good, and
Yeah.
people that watched F1 gave it, like, pretty high praise for what it was.
Right.
But I also like sports. is very different from just like video games
Yes.
because that is appeal. Like if I watch the F1 movie and like you pull me in, again, different medium, I can go and watch it and then I hear about like all the intense moments and the storylines and I can like go and watch that. I don't need to like physically pick something up and like, do something.
Yeah.
Whereas in COD, I see some crazy thing happen. I'm like, I want to do that in the video game. And then you go and pick up a controller. You can't do that. Like
Right.
your average Joe is not, slide canceling and turning on someone. Like they
Yeah,
can't do
right.
that. um that's why it's just interesting, like video games turning into this stuff because like video games are a completely different medium.
Bro, have the movie people run out of ideas too?
Have they? I maybe now they got to go to video games and try to
Yeah,
turn them into movies and
and the
shows.
gaming people are like, "Who can we steal from?" They're like, "Bruh,
Yeah,
we don't have anything left."
yeah. Start
Like, they're
stealing
just
from.
the old games.
Uh,
The current devs are taking from the old games and remaster them, charging 70. And
mhm,
then the movie people, some of these people don't have any ideas, so they're just taking from the video game realm, you
yeah,
know? Like, and then they're charging mad money. Did I
yeah,
tell you, side note, did I tell you about that Metal Gear situation? Did I tell you
yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah. Bro, I still like I was that still pisses me off. The
Mhm,
greed from these people.
yeah. Yo,
Making games that don't even they didn't even like I get it, they remastered it, bro. Like I get it. It's a lot of work. $70,
yeah,
triple A price. Like GTA might be 70. You're saying your game compares to that? Get out of town.
no,
Like,
yeah, dude, yeah. Remastered games. I don't care if it's a full remaster. That's not a new game. That should be at most $50 brand new.
max
Yeah,
50.
yeah,
$70 for a remaster is mental.
yeah.
Like
Completely. $70 is a brand new game. I expect something new.
yeah, when you're just taking like again, I'm not discrediting the work that
Yeah.
they did. Like the game looks great and everything, but man, for somebody who's I've already played the first one, when it actually came out, I'm like, you're making me buy this shit again,
Yeah.
brand new like that. Yeah, I don't get down with that at all.
Mhm.
I think it's a bit slimy, you know. That game would have had, and even still, even if it was unbelievable, just the fact that it's already been done, like the story, everything, none of that had to have been made again.
Mhm.
Um, I don't get it.
If you're
So
yeah, if you're gonna remaster a game, you have to do it out of pure passion, and the game is not a brand new game, so you cannot charge $70 for a
yeah, and
remastered game.
and I'd say too, it's like you hope with projects like that, like these passion projects where you do that, and yeah, you want a lot of people to buy it. Like, yeah, charge 50, like still good,
Mhm.
you know. But you hope that the reception of it is positive, and then people, want to see more.
Mhm.
Like that's what that whole mafia game is. They made that game cheaper, and I mean, it is a bit of a shorter game, but still, that's why they were doing that. They want to have it out there so people get the hype around it. And then hopefully they're like, oh, dude, like we need another Mafia game. Like I forgot how good this was. But if you paid $70 for that Mafia game, oh, people would be so pissed. They're like,
Mhm.
bro, this ain't worth $70. Screw these guys. Like, I'm not going to buy anything else from them ever again. And I'm like that with these metal with Konami. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you're charging that much for this game? Oh, screw you. Like, yeah, no chance. Because they're gonna remaster all the other ones,
Mhm.
$70, $70. It's like, dude, you're gonna be paying hundreds of dollars for PS2 games, bro.
Yeah, for games that we've already played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope, COD doesn't go down that route because we talked about it, just remastering games over and
Nah.
over. I'm like, but I will say COD, they're running out of ideas. They can't remaster every game,
So when we get to episode 790, when we're in our mid 30s,
and they're
we're gonna be
remastering,
talking.
like,
Yeah,
Vanguard.
we'd be like, dude. So the Black Ops 3 remaster is gonna be the new COD for the year. What you think, bro? It's like, yeah, it's gonna be $90.
Yeah,
Account for inflation. Like, yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. If that happens, we'll have an episode about it for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. we we need to get away from like remastering everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's been beaten to death, you know. People got to start going back to the creative sandbox and trying to figure out how to make good stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Listen to the gamers, listen to what we want. We don't want a COD movie, bro. We
yeah,
want like we need a we need a good COD.
yeah. We need a good multiplayer. That's what we
Yeah,
need. We did not
yeah,
ask for a COD movie.
yeah. They're like, we're gonna have this guy as the actor. I'm like, good maps, good maps.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, don't
Or
get distracted. This is all we need,
the
guys.
movie's gonna come out. This movement's better than the multiplayer. These
Yeah.
maps are better.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching this. Gonna be some movie or some map they spawn in. But dude, that looks kind of fire.
Yeah.
What the hell? Can we take some of those guys?
This guy's not tax sprinting. What
Yeah,
is Kai doing?
yeah. But now we'll see. I mean, again, it's just like early news right now, but it is confirmed that this is gonna happen. Who knows when this is gonna come out? Probably in the next couple of years, I'd imagine. But who's really to say? But I
Mhm.
do hope that albeit I do hope it's a success, but um I'm gonna be very critical about this. Yeah.
I
I
hope
don't I know I don't like to critique
yeah.
too much, but they got they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I hope the movie's successful whenever it does come out, but
Yeah,
I
of course.
really hope Call of Duty multiplayer is more successful.
Yeah. Yes, I
And
do.
they
I do
really
too.
focus on that in their franchise before this movie.
Amen.
I
I
really
agree.
hope they're not sending out resources already, like, "Go do this movie."
Yeah. I hope so too, but we'll have to wait and see with the results,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
And then, like, last couple things with, roster news, been pretty slow. Nothing new really has popped up. Um, I honestly think I don't think we're gonna hear much until, we're closer to Black Ops 7, like, within, like, a month of Black Ops 7, and when, like, FaZe and Vegas, like, announce their rosters and LA Thieves, when the big ones and like, finalize their roster and announce them, I think that's when we're gonna start hearing about all roster moves again.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. Those dominoes need to fall first.
Yeah, because 'cause I'm sure right now, like, if I had to assume, the majority of the rosters are locked.
Yeah.
They're locked
Yeah.
in. We just don't like they all know. We don't know. And they're finishing up paperwork and all this stuff. And then I'm sure there's probably a handful of teams that are like, all right, can we announce these teams now so we know like what players we can actually sign?
Yeah, it's I'm sure, like you said, that it's kind of settled,
Mhm.
or but I would imagine still though in those bottom teams, there's probably a bit of movement going on, because of just who they're actually going to get if they're going to, like we said in the last episode, if they're going to go and draw from some people in challengers, or if they're going to go and just try to shuffle around the people that they have. But yeah, it's always like the one team that'll make the moves. Like those top teams, they're once those guys, like one person or one team makes an announcement, then they're all going to fall through. And I would say the same really is with the bottom teams.
Mhm.
Like when they have one or two teams that are fully locked up, that's when, and not even like two, really just one team. I'd imagine that's where a lot of players are going to be like, okay, I was going to do this, but all right, I'm going here, and then that's
Mhm.
like, oh, that sets off the chain reaction of where everybody's going to end up.
Mhm.
Um, I just hope for the sake of those bottom teams that we look at them and we're like, okay,
Yeah. You did
and
your
not,
best.
yeah, and not
Yeah.
being like,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. I think Draws actually he's officially on phase
Yes,
now. So even though it
I
was kind of
saw that and I was like,
lackluster. Yeah. The bottom teams need to take a play out of Thieves' book from MW3 when they signed a like budget team, and for what they could get was pretty damn good. So
yeah.
they need to
Now
do that.
it's possible. I
Yeah.
mean, you can build like maybe not a championship winning team or anything like that, but some of these teams I'm sure could make big strides in where they placed this year
Mhm.
going into next. That they just learn from some of these teams as to who's been on them and who worked and who was performing, and try to put together like a relatively competent team. Like Gentlemates is that. You
Mhm.
know. Like that again, we hyped that team up before. Like that's a really good decision on the roster. They got everybody that the best of the rest and people that showed out and worked together during the Black Ops 6 season. You know, so they did well with that. I just
Mhm.
hope that with these bottom teams, they're not just looking at random players and kind of throwing darts at the wall and being like, okay, that's going to be the roster.
Yeah.
But sometimes, somehow, every year it ends up like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a great example is Surge. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think anyone predicted that Surge would be a top 3 team in Black Ops 6 based on the roster.
yeah.
Like, they're just, I wouldn't say a hodgepodge of guys put together, but they kind of were.
And we don't know what that search team's going to be this year, do we? Really?
No.
Yeah, because they
Um,
they dropped everybody. I mean,
yeah.
man, you think
Yeah.
about that. That team went from being one of the best teams in Black Ops 6 to, I mean, more than likely they're going to be terrible.
Yeah.
You know?
They couldn't, that's what sucks. Like, your players all do really well, couldn't get a championship, which is like that's the one thing you want. Like you win at least a major, and then you're okay with losing the team because you know that their
Right.
stock's going to go up. You can't afford these players now.
Hmm.
Uh, this and we're not going to pay them. They're going to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So the hope is to win a major that year, and that did not happen. So you know,
Yeah, I hope to see like that team, have a relatively good year. But I haven't heard any news with them. So I don't know what's going to go on with them. I would imagine that maybe they're involved in the roster mania right now with trying to get some of these guys at the bottom 8, or they're going to build like a full on challengers. Like I really have no idea, but it is a shame from what happened because that team was so good. Um, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see with them. I'm sure they're going to be one of the later teams to make the call on the roster because I think you know as you said, most of the other teams have a pretty good idea of what they're going to be going with, but them, I'm sure they're like, where do where do we start?
yeah, yeah.
They're
Like
in full rebuild.
yeah, I think if any of these orgs, which I think it is like the majority of them, if uh budget and finance is an issue, then it's gonna be hard to build a team.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be hard to like keep any players if that's the case, you know. Like
right.
realistically, like Snoopy on Boston, he probably could get paid a lot more if he went somewhere else.
Hmm.
But we just have good value from him
Right.
right now.
And who's willing to pay that?
Yeah.
That's where all the gray area is with him.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sure there is a team that will pay for him, but I don't know if Boston wants to or can afford to pay him to keep him, longer.
right.
Because that just goes into like, is it a good investment to keep this player or not? Like, is it going to
Yeah,
really do anything?
yeah, yeah. And again, we talked about the side of whether you think long term and you get the cash for them, or if you try to keep them and hope that they have a good year, and then maybe get some other players that want to come in and hope that he resigns. That's really what it's going to come down to. If they have a good year this year and he's excited about it, then he may want to resign with them. But that's going to be pretty slim. I mean, he's got plenty of other options there,
Hmm.
and he's done very well in the short time that he's been in the league. Um, so it wouldn't surprise me if someone comes along like that is willing to pay, um, and he would want to go there. I mean, after next year, right? I think he is a free agent.
Yeah.
Um, so if those offers come up and they're more than what he's at now, I'm sure he's peacing out. So
Hmm.
it's a tough call for Boston, no doubt.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, let's hope that Boston isn't one of those teams that's just waiting, patiently waiting for,
Hope and
you
pray.
know, what dominoes are going to fall. Then we can go pick up
Yeah,
XYZ.
yeah. I hope we come out of this with a good team.
Yeah, me too. Because Black Ops 7 feels like a good COD. So let's hope something
That-
good comes out of it.
That's all. Yeah, I know. That's all we can do right now is just say a silent prayer
Yeah.
that things go our way this year.
And also last thing, like I heard COD Next. I don't think it's officially announced, but there is like a news about, you know, more stuff about Black Ops 7 being released. If there is a COD Next event, I'm sure there's going to be something around it because they're going to have creators come and play the game. Like
Oh yeah,
we need to see the multiplayer.
yeah.
And I'll say it, Activision, we've been here.
I
Where's our
know.
invite?
I know we need well,
I
dude. You see, a lot of people didn't get an invite.
I did see that. Yeah, yeah. Maybe because they're throwing slander. Activision, we love you.
I'm
You're just-
Yeah, I mean, dude,
it's
they didn't invite T-Dog,
yeah,
you know? I mean, bro, that's crazy.
yeah.
He's like the voice of COD, to the masses. That dude's always playing, he's always been there
Hmm.
for it, you know? I mean, they need these people. They need to
Hmm.
come in and speak their mind on the game, whether they like it or not.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I hate when they have these events and people that just come out of it and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's amazing." Like they're just glazing the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
It's like, shut up, dude. There's no way the game's that good. Like,
yeah.
there has
They
to be some criticisms or critiques that come along with it.
Yeah, I think the people that are invited should be Call of Duty players, like people that are in the community. Us,
Absolutely.
if they're taking away, not inviting people because they want to like expand to other creators, we're here. But
Yeah. I
like
mean, dude.
we're gonna give our honest opinion though.
Yeah, well,
And
and it's opinion
definitely
too,
need
where it's like we're mega casual, you know?
yeah.
It's like we're not one of these people who make it as like our full-time job where it's like, oh, we need these things, like, or being very selfish saying, I want these things in the game
Hmm.
because of what I do for work, that would benefit me a lot, or
Hmm.
like if you're a CDL pro, you know, just like, is this game fun to play sober? Is it fun to
Yeah.
play? It's like ba- things like that, not like that, but just things in general that are like real baseline things, would be important to know from, the vast majority of their player base, which is going to be people like us who,
Hmm.
they play, but they're not putting in 6, 8 hours a day like it's their job, which is, when you hear this is a lot of the, bigger voices that are
Hmm.
on social media.
Yeah, and like those people need to be there too, though, for
Yeah.
like
Oh no, no doubt.
because they have more pull, obviously,
Hmm.
but yeah, they need those people there to critique the game and like take everyone's opinion. I just think that like maybe invite a couple big streamers, you know, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I feel like they move towards like let's promote the game and invite a big name, someone who doesn't even play Call of Duty like regularly, and they're just garbage
Right.
immediately. It's like, you don't play the game. What input do you have
Right.
for the game? That's where like, Tyler's great to have because he's all Call of Duty. You know,
Hmm.
every critique he makes is to benefit the game.
Right.
So
Yeah, they need more people, like, we don't need, no disrespect to him, we don't need it like Lil Jon.
we
We
don't need
don't need him.
artists like,
Yeah.
that they don't have the time to play COD unless, they do play COD, shout out Sam and Adam. Like
I was just
they
gonna
play
say
Call
those
of
guys
Duty.
wouldn't be
Invite them.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but even still, they're an anomaly because
Mhm.
of, like, how much they actually do play and understand it, but they need people like that,
Mhm.
where they're relatively normal people who play the game, casually, um, but they try to go for these big names just to bring eyeballs, of course,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the whole thing, and I understand it from a marketing standpoint and publicity, but it's, it's a waste of money, you
Mhm.
know? It could be their time and energy could be much better spent on sending us
Yeah.
out there to go try it. I'm like,
Us.
I'll give you a laundry list of the pros and cons here,
Yeah. Well, we'll
you
give
know?
you real feedback. Like they
Yeah.
need to Tyler should be going. They need to
Yeah.
bring Courage. Courage has been like one of the leading content creators in Call of Duty. And I'm sure he's just tired of it at this point. The amount of
Yeah.
stuff, like he's very open about everything that he
Yeah.
says,
Mhm.
and how he communicates to them. And nothing. Like you can only do it for so long, and
Yeah. I
he
mean,
yeah, having courage in Call of Duty, like him as like a spokesperson or something, that's huge.
yeah, if you piss off, like, the big people like that, by just not acknowledging them or, whatever, um, man, they're gonna carry that to their fans, and you're gonna lose a lot of people.
Hmm.
It is a domino effect. So you can't disrespect those people, whether, by not inviting them or not listening to their input, etc. You gotta back those people. They have way more weight than you think.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
100%.
they're aware of that, but it's like their actions don't show that. I'm like, so what are you doing?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Execute something.
I know.
um, but yeah, I mean, I think we talked about like everything we wanted. I know we went on a whole like spiel about like streamers beforehand, but that was pretty good.
I love it. I love it.
Still related to video games and whatnot. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, let us know down in the comments if you think Call of Duty should actually make a movie or not. I'd be
Yes.
interested to see because I think most people are going to say no. But
And we'll have the poll up as well where it's just yes and no.
yeah, yeah. Do you want a Call
There's
of
no
Duty movie?
maybes.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe while you're over there. We're also on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals. We're on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok. So if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we cut them up and post them over there. And make sure to leave a 5-star rating on Spotify and everything else.
Always 5-star.
Yeah, because it helps us out a ton.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's it.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 239 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.